Hello. Where have you been? I've been right here the whole time. Why don't we go back where we left off with this engine project about a month ago. There's the two valve covers, one for the back, one for the front. So let's get the front off, this cover off. This exhaust is kind of in our way, like you can see it is. That's oil dripping out of there, so that means the oil did get through and get down the exhaust valve and then dripping out the exhaust gaskets. So we know we got oil down there anyway, so let's get a wrench on that, get that pulled off, see what's hanging that up, see if maybe, I don't know, could be a spring hung up, could be a spring broken, could be a few different things. I am getting my butt kicked by a cold right now, as you can probably tell in my voice. But I like to come out, see if I can get one or two things done anyway. Kind of nice. What do we need here? 5/8 probably? Yep. And try not to get too far in, close in your way. If you can. Too much in your way. That ain't no 5/8. Is a 9/16. Yep. Ooh, that's dirty. Block it, give you no light, give you some light. Throw that in the bucket. So the screwdriver to pry that off. From back here. Oh, look at that. A bit of a mess coming out of there. All right. Well, you guys see all that? I don't know if you guys can see that at all. Maybe. Go ahead and zoom in a bit. Zoom in. It would be easier if that exhaust was out of the way, wouldn't it? Let's go with this. But like this, I can crank it over and you can see what happens here. Okay, so that valve is getting stuck. So we may have to pull that off and clean out the valve guide. So we got a couple valves that are working nice. This one here are working nice. This other also is stuck. So let's give this a bit of a tap in a second here. Let's get this one up. Right there. That means we can now give this one a bit of a tap. See if it pops down for you. You guys can watch it, okay? There it goes. It'll pop down for you. It would be good if that finally freed up without me having to take it all apart. Yeah, you can see it pop down there. Have it come back up again. See, will it come back down again for us? No. We can just give that a little tap with a screwdriver, maybe. Make that pop back down again. There we go. You do it enough times, it might just finally free itself up. There it goes. See that? She opened up this. She's good now. So that cylinder should have compression now. Up and down, up and down. I want to try working on this other front one. You guys see that? Let me move the light for you. Try that. We're going to work on this one now. I'll zoom in a bit more. We'll do the same thing we're doing here. All right. I didn't give that a whole lot more work, but I gave that a few more little love taps there on that front. Would that be exhaust valve? And it is now, man, I got stuff piled up. It's now, oh God, moving around. It's now moving up and down. So we got all the valves on the front of the engine moving up and down. So that's good news. I guess while we're at it, we may as well pull the cover off the back and see what we got back there, huh? So we're getting places. I mean, in 2 days, we got this freed up. We got valves freed up on the front. They're probably not sealing great. But, once we get things moving, we can then kind of just pick away at stuff and pull the head, clean the valves, clean the pistons, check the bottom end, and then eventually get to the trans. But, there's lots of stuff to do up front here first. Oh, it's the first beautiful day we've had after Christmas, and we haven't been down on this awesome little pond that we come to every year. It's a little slough, probably man-made, I guess. It's got a big area over there, nice big area. We just race around, basically, just have fun on the ice. And we got probably, I can check the ice thickness, but I know it's going to be well over 8 inches. We probably got 8 inches of snow on it. So anyway, Herman's going to be the first coming down here. Okay, Herb, let's go. You can see him come through. Look at him busting his way through. Look at him go. 84 years old. Well, we check this every year for how deep it is. And by now, mid-January, we know it's going to be. You can put a truck on here, put a truck and trailer on your semi. We got it good already. And I'm not to the bottom. I can't extend my axe any further. But you got a good 10 or 11 inches down this hole. All right, he's packing her. I had to put him on the old snapper. I had to snap him out. He was stuck. He was stuck there. He was stuck way over there. We had to winch him on that one over there. He was stuck pretty bad. This is the one. Okay, that's the one. Yep. Give her. Well, I guess that's not the one. All right, we're on the back 2 cylinders here. Let's see what we can do. Oh, well, that's water. So that ain't great, is it? We got water in that one. That's interesting. How long's that been in there? Not terrible, because there was so much grease in here that the water didn't really do anything by the look of it. But it got in there. But like I say, there's so much oil in a Model T anyway that water is not the end for this thing by the look of it. And the back ones are going up and down anyway. But that front one is stuck. I can see it there. But we can kind of work that one back and forth too. You guys see that one? You can get a peek at that with me. Maybe I can get some stuff out of your way. A little better location. There you go. Not so bad. So this front one's stuck here, which that's another exhaust valve. I wonder where the water came in. It came in, I mean, I'm just going to guess it came in through the exhaust. It's because to get in through the intake, it would have to come in through the carburetor, through here, which it didn't do. So again, you got a engine, an antique engine, or whatever kind of, hit miss engine. You got a stack on it sticking up. It's, maybe you think it looks cool, but as an idea, it sucks, because that's where the water heads on down into. So, yeah, not terrible with the, I don't see much for rust there, to be honest with you. Not what I was thinking I might see, so that's not a big deal. And what else we got? That intake's moving up and down, but that exhaust is not doing its thing. So that's all freed up. We can spray a bit in there, help it out a bit. Bit sticky. It's that valve that's the sticky part. I don't know if I can get up in there. Maybe help free that up. That cam's going round and round anyway. We got 3 working there. You can see them. It's that last one. Okay. We can tap that exhaust back down. It will free up. The rest of them did. Have faith. It's getting there. It's getting easier. Okay. Can tap that again. I'm going to keep working that, and I'll get back to you when we get it fixed up. All right, took a few more taps. We got that guy right there. So, that ain't bad. We get a bit of light on that again. Working in a dark area. So that's all your valves going up and down. Now, I'm not saying they're sealing, but they are moving up and down. And there are no broken valves, no broken keepers. Everything is sitting there all right. Cranking over pretty easy, actually, considering. And some of them are actually rotating. So that's good news. That one is still getting stuck on us, isn't it? Still not quite happy. Well, it's going to get happy. It should now be down. There we go. It'll get there. So because I think what I want to do is I want to be able to fire it. Now that it's free, I want to be able to see if it'll actually run. Just have some fun with it, basically. Now, there's a lot of stuff I don't need on here, and there's a lot of stuff I may use in the future, or I may not, I don't know. But it's kind of in my way as far as kind of getting stuff cleaned up, and I want to remove a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to take off the fuel tank, I'm going to take off the firewall, this, just basically just strip a bunch off that exhaust, strip a bunch off that's not necessary for this. And what I'm going to do is I want to get at this distributor, and either I'm going to decide that I'm going to use this, which I won't know if I'm going to use it until I actually pull it off and see what kind of shape everything is in. And if I don't, I'll put a timer on it and with some coils and stuff like that. So with that in mind, I'm just going to start stripping.
On drums, Cedric Weinstein.
Rolling it now. look a little harder at that, and I can see that there's not a shaft going through from the mag to the water pump. Someone just put a piece of rubber hose or rubber coupler on there to link them up. Actually not a bad idea, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to cut the rest of this off and we'll just take it all off as one. I just pulled the spacer plate off from underneath there, and it's kind of dirty, but you can see it's an old Manitoba plate, which I didn't know we had green plates in Manitoba, or white with green, but that's a 1955. I don't know, somebody trimmed that off for some kind of a spacer or a shim or something, I guess. Kind of funny. All right, well, we're getting somewhere. I don't know where. We got this pump freed up. Yanked it off. It's good inside. Needs a new gasket and make that work, and et cetera, et cetera. Somebody obviously chewed all this off of here so that they could make this work. Otherwise, yeah, it's coming along. But yeah, we're looking not too bad. I haven't touched anything on this side. I haven't done any real cleaning. Just cleaned some junk out and grease and usual grime, but yeah, we're getting to a place where we can kind of start looking at stuff, you know, individually like. So to get there, to get down to taking this cover off down here, which there's a number of bolts, I've got to get some stuff off here to begin with. Got to get this fan off, the linkage for that, throttle, which is just that, obviously just take that off. So we gotta take this off, take it off in parts. This could probably stay, but we could probably just take it off and keep it all together so we don't lose stuff. Take that off and get down to the bottom and then get that crank and pulley off, clean all the front of this out, get some grease out of here, kind of degrease some stuff before we kind of dig too far in. Too hard right now to get the grease off of everything and dirt because it's just everything is bolted onto something. You're always banging into something. So I'm just gonna start taking stuff off and watch if you want.
All right, let's get this thing moving.
All right, so that's the thing about all this grease is you kind of get to a point where you're puzzled. And I thought, well, how are they getting this off here? How did they get this pulley off of the lower? They didn't take the motor and then drop it back in the cradle. So I see there are screws here. So they got, this is a two-part deal. They've got, I'm gonna have to push this back in a bit. It's gotta all go back in. We'll take out the screws that hold the front of this pulley on here. So I don't know what this ever was, but somebody came up with an interesting idea anyway. So let's just move this back on, and then you maybe saw me, I was pulling some metal out. So somebody had made up some kind of shims, which don't really need to worry about all that. So we need to pull all the screws, however many there are. I expect there are at least 4 that hold this other part of the pulley on. All right, well, that was kind of ingenious, actually, when you think about it. So that's the normal pulley that's actually on it, on the Model T. And then they put this on there, kind of after the fact, when this is all clean probably. And they use this as a shim. So I mean, they actually probably had to kind of do that, didn't they? Because if you put this on after the fact, I mean, you could probably just weld it on, actually. Once you welded it on, you couldn't get it back off again, could you? So, yeah. It's actually not that far out. They could have bent that a little more solid and then screwed it down. Anyway, it's off now. That's the standard one that's on there. So that should now allow us to pull that pulley off. Look at that. And then, oh yeah, look at that. More shims. These do tend to get loose over time. They make a modern two-piece unit that slides on there. Actually, two-piece, no, it's a billet piece with a slit in it and then a through bolt that clamps it on. So, yeah, this could probably be used again. We'll see why not. It's not a big deal. Or just put the two-piece one on. So that's what we got. That's where we are today. That's where we're stopping tonight, I think. That's your crank. That is the massive pile of junk. And yeah, there is actually a clean-out hole down here at the bottom. But none of this stuff would have got through there. So we'll clean all that out. Clean all this up. And, you know, bit by bit, we're going to get there. I think it's time for a I knew this Model T kit would come in handy one day. It's a 7/16 14. Just checking these. And 7/16 14. There's some reason that, like, I don't know how much you're charging for these. These are just pretty beat up. But that's just a 7/16 14 bolt. Probably a grade 5 will do it. And I mean, whatever. I just run a tap down. Make sure I've got the full distance of the bolt at least, right? Up to that line on the tap up there. As long as I can clear that with the tap, then I know the bolt's not going to bottom out and then snap the bolt, right? So just a little bit of little caution, that's all. So I just spent 2 hours shooting video for you guys. And I didn't turn my microphone on. And you don't want to hear me anyway. I'm just going to play music over it.
If you ever go down Trinidad, they make you feel so very glad. Calypso sing and make up rhyme, guarantee you one real good fine time. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Oh, beat it, man, beat it. Since the Yankee come to Trinidad, they got the young girls all going mad. Young girls say they treat 'em nice, make Trinidad like paradise. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola, go down Point Cumana, both mother and daughter, working for the Yankee dollar. Oh, you vex me, you vex me. From Chickachickarry to Mona's Isle, native girls all dance and smile, help soldiers just celebrate his leave. Make every day like New Year's Eve. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down Point Cumana. Both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. It's a fact, man, it's a fact. In old Trinidad I also fear the situation is mighty queer. Like the Yankee girl, the native swoon when she heard her bingle croon. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down Point Cumana. Both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. Out on Manzanella Beach, GI romance with native peach. All night long make tropic love. Next day sit in hot sun and cool off. Drinking rum and Coca-Cola. Go down Point Cumana. Both mother and daughter working for the Yankee dollar. It's a fact, man, it's a fact. Rum and Coca-Cola. Rum and Coca-Cola.
So the whole plan is that I know I said I was gonna start the engine up and just run it and see how it did, but you know, it actually has really good compression. So I don't want to mess it up. It's got like 45 pounds of compression, PSI. And that's really good. So I'm going to pull that head off. I'm going to pull the valves, lap them, see if we got to adjust the clearance from the valves to the tappets. What is it called? What's that word? I don't know. Can't think of words today. So something else I do, and you can do it if you want. You don't have to do it. Do whatever you want. If you want to take this, take it to a machine shop, get a deck, that's up to you. I use a long flat file, and you can check the flatness yourself if you want. I've checked this on my milling machine, and it is flat. We're as flat as I need it to be. I mean, let's get realistic here, huh? You're going to have a gasket surface. So I take a nice dark blue marker, which I don't know where I put it. Great big blue marker. And take my flat file, put it at 45, and just knock it off at 45s. Keep it nice and flush. And then you can see your high spots and your low spots. And there you can see where we're catching it, where we're not catching it. You don't necessarily need to take this right down, but if you want a nice level gasket surface, just take it down with your file. Make it all the same. Up to you. It's your call. There you go. There you go, and that's where I'm going to stop. Am I going to get perfection? Maybe if I kept going, but I'm not worried so much around down here as I am about the surface around the ports. Some places have a lot of pitting from water obviously sitting, moisture sitting. We're not going to get all of that. Just get the little margins around. Kind of like back here, same thing. Lots of water has sat here and pitted, but for the most part, we're pretty well, I think we're flush, and we're going to stop there.
Don't look so sad.
It's good enough for me.
I know it's over, but life goes on, and this old world will keep on turning.